In 2025, is Assassin's Creed 1 worth going back to replay? Well, here are my thoughts. Assassin's Creed 1 came out, let's see, November 13th, 2007 for the 360, Xbox 360, and PS3. Now, it got pretty favorable reviews with an 81 on Metacritic and a 7.2 for mixed or average user score. Game Informer basically said its stunning visual, high concept story, and wildly open level design are like nothing else. Even if too much repetition begins to frustrate in the latter hours, it's a game people will still be talking about 5 years from now. Let me tell you, probably ended after that 5 years. Now, I went into this because I have not played all the Assassin's Creed games. Actually, not played all of them all the way through. Let me rephrase that. I've played and touched damn near all of them except for Brotherhood and Revelations. So I kind of knew what I was getting into when I went into this. And I think I was disappointed. Because here's the thing. Once you play some of the newer games, you're being spoiled to hell. And so I booted this up because Black Flag is rumored to be getting a remake towards the end of this year or sometime next year. And I'm very excited to play it again. And I figured, what better time to start from the beginning than now? Play through 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, and then, of course, start with Black Flag. Black Flag being my favorite. I've only ever beat 3 different Assassin's Creed games. Assassin's Creed 2, Black Flag, and Rogue. Those are it. So I figured, yeah, I can go back and play this. When this game came out, at the time, I was living at home because it was within high school. It was my parents. I lived with my parents. My dad had the Xbox, to be honest with you. He owned a 360, never played it. And so when we got to play it, it was special because he kept it locked up in a cabinet. I ended up learning how to pick a master lock so we could play it when they weren't home, but that's a different story. And so whenever I did get to play Assassin's Creed 1, it was very, very small. It was very tiny increments where I got to maybe go here, do a few things, go here, do a few things, but I never got into the story. And this is the first time I actively paid attention to the story and played the game. So let's start off with some of the mechanics. They feel old and outdated. I have some gameplay up, and you can see for yourself. The running, yes, at the time, the parkour in the running was very revolutionary. You were able to climb up buildings, jump off ledges, and keep moving. It was very, very quick at the time. Not unlike some of the ones that are today, though. It was very limited. It didn't let you climb up every side of the building, and then sometimes you'd be running through what you would think would be a great traverse way and then fall flat because you didn't have anything else to grab onto. And I feel like from what I remember, they fixed that later on in some of these other games, which is great. But in Assassin's Creed 1, expecting it and realizing it's not there was kind of disappointing. So besides that, the combat seems very outdated. It was parry, kill, parry, kill, parry, kill. And it got old. It got really boring. You only had 4 weapons to choose from. The hidden blade you couldn't participate in combat with, where you could in the other games, and they had some pretty cool kill animations with. Your sword, your dagger, fists, I guess, count as a weapon here too, and throwing knives, which I can honestly tell you I forgot they existed. They go through and give you some tutorials for it, but they weren't very good. The tutorials basically came up and said, hey, press this and this, but they didn't walk you through pressing this and this. And so the tutorial really didn't help. And so I had to learn on the move, which kind of sucked. Now, as far as difficulty goes, the game is barely that difficult. The only difficult part was there was a boss fight towards the end where you have to beat all these Templars, and they are a pain in the ass. So bad. I kept dying. I had to keep playing that part, and I was getting frustrated. And then finally, I realized that when you throw somebody to the ground, you could utilize your hidden blade and assassinate them like that. And I'll tell you what, after dying like 8 or 9 times and realizing I could do that, I got pretty upset. I was like, I could have been doing this the whole time, made my life a lot easier. It just took me half an hour to an hour to beat this boss. Anyways, difficulty was okay. Where the real difficulty came in was more so what Ubisoft is guilty of. All Ubisoft games are filled with fluff. And I like their open worlds, I really do. But this is the game that started the whole climb a tower, synchronize a tower, move on routine. So I'd come into a region, I'd synchronize the towers, and then I'd go in and for the first 2 or 3 sequences, I'd go in and I'd help all the people that were being mugged by the bad guys in that region, and then go do all the missions I needed to unlock the assassination quest. And that was fine. But the side content quickly got repetitive and boring. Once I got to about the 4th sequence where you went back to another city that you had already been to unlock the 2nd region of that city, I gave up. I think I was done. I did a few more let's save some people quests, and then by the time I got the 3 that I needed to unlock the initial Assassin's Creed quest, or the Assassin quest, I just went and did that and progressed the story. The story did not progress until you did that, and I was like, you know what, I want to beat this game. I don't have time to sit here and collect everything, and it became a chore. The other thing is the collectibles. By God, Assassin's Creed 1 was egregious with the collectibles. There's one location that has 100 different flags to collect. 100 different flags, and they don't have them on the map, as far as I know, that you could go and look. Then again, if they are there, call me a liar, because I didn't look at the map nearly as often as I probably should have. But it was just one of those things that I don't have the time as a busy dad to go around hunting collectibles. I want to play a game. I want to beat the game. I want to move on. Especially right now with the Assassin's Creed games. Now, with that said, let's go on to the story. Spoiler alert, the story is very, very, I don't want to say bland, because at the time, back in 2007, this was unique. It was brand new. You played in one area where you were in the future, learning about what's happening in present day with Desmond Miles, who is the main character of this story. And then you jump into this computer, or basically you lay down on this computer, and it utilizes your DNA to put you into the Assassin's Creed setting, where you play as Altair, which is one of his relatives, and do this quest line within the story. Cool. It's great. Love it. Revolutionary. Great science fiction. Fantastic. But that's where it ends. If you were paying attention to the story, maybe about a quarter of the way in, halfway in, you start realizing that the people that you're working for are probably the bad guys. And at the very end of the game, you find out that the people that kidnapped you, the people who kidnapped Desmond, are Templars. And they're trying to find this relic that'll help them find other relics to help them control people in the present day. So they're looking to find the piece of Eden that is basically a map to all these other relics. That's the story. It ends with Desmond Miles being told, oh, we're going to keep you around unless we don't need you, and then we're going to kill you. And so it felt kind of, I don't want to say terrible, it just felt kind of lackluster. The story was okay. You're killing all these Templars, realizing that what they're trying to do is They're doing bad things for the greater good. They're trying to provide a better world for their people, their subjects. The way they do it, obviously, can be questionable, but that's most things when it comes to this series in general. And so you want to hate the Templars, but towards the end of the game, I was kind of like, these Templar guys aren't really so bad. Whereas, like, the whole premise of Assassin's Creed was, oh, the Assassin's good, Templar's bad. But most of it was all gray area, especially once you find out who the real bad guy is towards the end. If you want to go back and play this, I'm not going to spoil that for you. Now, I like this game. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. However, being spoiled with some of the newer games, it is hard to go back to and play in 2025. And I feel like there's been a reason why the first Assassin's Creed game did not get the remaster treatment that some of the other games have already gotten or are getting in the future. And that's a damn shame, because I feel like they could actually remake this game and make it a lot better, incorporating some of the other things that they utilized from previous games. Going through the story and having to re-earn gear sucked. Not being able to customize your gear, okay, I get it's a 2007 game. But that's what I like about some of the newer Assassin's Creed games. So, I give Assassin's Creed 1 in 2025 a 6 out of 10. Good, but not the best. We'll see what comes up with Assassin's Creed 2. That is next on my playlist, and I plan on doing another review video for that, because I'm going and playing all these games, and I want to hear your guys' opinion on it. Personally, I feel like most people that say Assassin's Creed 1 is their favorite are looking at it through rose-tinted glasses. But that's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want to see more of this content, please like and subscribe. I have more stuff coming. I have some podcasts. I have some game reviews. I have some product reviews coming soon. So let me know what you guys think. I look forward to catching you guys next time. Ciao.